Okay, welcome to part 3 and the final video of the Honda GX160. Basically all the thing we got left to do now, put the exhaust on, the carburetor, the linkage, the air filter, and the fuel tank, the recoil, and this project is done. Fill it full of oil and start it up and hope for the best. So, let's start off with the exhaust. Now, the exhaust gasket's pretty easy. It's a metal gasket with almost like a rubber top to it, and it basically only goes on one way. So put that on and then put your exhaust on the two nuts and tighten her down. Now we're going to assemble the carburetor and all the pieces. Make sure you got the gasket on there. I don't know, I'm just going to change that one out too. And then we're going to put that on. So instead of reusing this old one, I got a new gasket right there. We're going to stick that on. So just some jumping around a bit. I put the governor on, lined her up in the middle. I got my springs on. Also put the new fuel filter and fuel line on. So we're going to put the gas tank on next and run the lines before we get all this stuff butted up. It'll just make things a little bit more easier. One thing you want to make sure is after you get it connected, you want to make sure it still freely moves and no binding. If it does bind, you might have to go and adjust the governor. Throttle on, you want to make sure that the spring doesn't wrap around this. It's got to be free, so I just got it hanging down there and attached, so now we're going to hook it up. I guess we get too much ahead of ourselves. Let's get some oil in this bad boy. Okay, everything is assembled. Make sure you got no extra screws, recoils put on. Now that we got oil in it, we can check for spark, and if we got spark, everything seems to feel good. We can put some gas in it and see what happens. Alright, I'm going to crank this over for spark. Well, I'm going to put a little bit of gas in here. I don't know how much yet. One of the things I want to do now is pull that out, turn the fuel on, see if gas will trickle on down. Oh, there we go. We know we're going to get fuel. Well, let's find out if this thing's going to blow up or not. Well, the engine runs. Now, if you guys remember, if you've been following this project from the very beginning, this started off as an engine that came in and would only run with the choke on. The only things we have changed is the fuel filter, which wasn't plugged to start off with, the fuel cap, which was faulty, and we put a new block and piston in. So you can basically narrow it down is that the reason why it would only run with the choke on is because of low compression. Basically, the only thing that's left on this build is to put the mechanical seal back in the pump, assemble the pump back on the block, attach it to the frame. This project's done. If you have any questions or comments, post them below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.